Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. Happy Sabbath day, y'all. Once again, thank you to everybody that joined my live. Your girl woke up a little late today, baby, but we gonna go ahead and we gonna get into it. Yet in the same. Um, so the first dream I'm coming to you guys with, like I said in my live, I had a lot of dreams last night. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do every single one of them, but I'm gonna try. Okay. Um. So in this first dream, um, I am in a neighborhood. Like I'm in a neighborhood that I live in, but as I'm walking down the street, it's like I end up in a different neighborhood some way somehow. And when I get there, it's like a community kitchen, which I don't know if we have those here. I know we had one. I had one when I was staying in Jamaica. It was like a community kitchen where everybody used the same kitchen. But anyways, I get to this kitchen and I'm making myself something to eat. I didn't put my little food together. I'm excited. I'm like, yes, I'm done cooking. My food is together. And I think I went to get like my dirty silverware and wash them or something like that. And as I'm doing that, I turn around and this lady popped up out of nowhere. She wasn't even in there, but now she's there. And she has poured a bunch of liquid substance. Um, it looked like water, but what I felt is that she put some poison in my food, okay? And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's just like, "Oops, sorry." And it's like, "No, no, oops, sorry." Do you know how long it took me to make? Why would you come in here, deliberately pour something on my food? What are you doing? So me and this lady end up getting into an argument, kind of turns into a fight. Um, and it starts in the kitchen and then it gradually moves towards outside in the street. And people are coming up. My mom goes, "So what happened? What happened? What happened?" I said she tried to poison me. I'm gonna take her by the y'all better get her, okay? Anywho, I leave. I leave. I leave. I leave. And then I'm told that I should buy groceries for breakfast. I forgot exactly who told me this in this dream, but I was just like, did you hear what just happened? Somebody literally just tries to put something in my food. Why would I buy more groceries to go and cook in the same kitchen and have the same problem happen all over again? Anyways, the dream is like all of a sudden I am at a nursing home. It's a nursing home that I used to work at. And it's like a bunch of the people that used to work there, which I know they probably don't work there. I think it closed down now. But it was the people that used to work there while I was working there, and that was having like a little Christmas party and everybody was dancing and having a good time. And I was like, "Oh." And then I was like, "Why am I here?" I was just like walking around and looking at the patients and just looking at the decorations and everything. And I leave. And when I leave, I walk outside and I realize that it's first of all in a completely different location than it was. Second of all, it kind of seemed like it was closer to the neighborhood I was at. And then the second thing that I noticed is like the streets look different, the cars, like everything looked different. And I ended up walking to what looked like a mall, or like a shopping center, which we have a ton of malls and shopping centers of different varieties in Houston. But anyways, I end up there and I'm walking up to this place and it's kind of like how do I it's a mall. It's a mall. But anyways, it's a mall and I get up to the building and I go inside the building, and what was so different to me is kind of like from the outside, it looked like a mall, but when I got inside, it seemed more to be like a flea market. Like a flea market. Kind of like how Sharpstown is now for those of y'all that are from Houston. For those of you that are not from Houston, Plaza Americas. Okay, it used to be a mall, but now it is like a big flea market. But anyways, I walk in and when I first walk in, it's like this stand with a bunch of tennis shoes on there, and they look weird, they look strange, they look odd. I'm like, what are this? What is this? What are these shoes? What is going on? Ah! And that's basically how it looked. Like, instead of like a mall where there are like stores, in different places. And it's not to say that flea markets don't have stores in different places too, because I will shop in a flea market. But I'm just saying, it's not like a mall. Like, you could tell the difference between the vibe of a flea market and a mall. It's a different vibe, okay? And it's like it looked like a mall, but it was a flea market. But anyways, um I keep going, and I looked at the shoes, I smirked at the shoes, and I kept it moving. I ended up by this other stand where there's like a bunch of purses, and the purses look like really good. They look like they're luxury designer brand purses, but instead of the logos exactly, it's like the logos are there. It's kind of like my little head, my bonnet that I wear to sleep, where it has like the Louis Vuitton symbol, the Gucci, and the Chanel, and all the different symbols on there, but Minnie Mouse's faces all over it too. That's how these purses had the faces of celebrities and influencers. Okay, and I started to notice that there were more influencers than there were celebrities. For one thing, for two, this little area was jumping. Like, when I jumping, it was more people buying stuff from there than the anywhere else in the mall. And a lot of these purses were sold out. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh, this is cute. And I found one with a celebrity that I know of, and I was like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. I wasn't about to buy it. Okay. I was not about to buy it. I had the knowing that I did not have enough money for that. And I had the knowing that I had something else that I had to take care of. So I didn't plan on getting it. However, I see the price. The price is ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. The price is crazy. And I'm not paying that much for that. I'm not paying that much for that. And a woman walks up to me and she's like, I'll get you this. And then she says, then I'll show you what you should get. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't really need it. I wasn't going to get it. And, she just takes off. She goes to a cash register. In this mall, there's a cash register position in the center of the mall. So, once again, this is not a normal mall. I don't know what's called this place. I don't know if this is supposed to be how malls gonna be in the future, or what it's supposed to be. But it's kind of like, it seemed more to me like how a HEB is, or like a big, like one of those superstores, like a Walmart. Like, but it's not, the outside don't look like a Walmart, and the inside it didn't really look like it. But it's kind of like the self checkout in the center of the mall. You grab whatever you gonna get, and you go to the self checkout. You check yourself out, and you out the door. And that's what was going on there. Anywho, she pays for these two purses, and I'm standing there just looking around in awe. And then I turn back around, baby, and she gone. I was like, she ain't even have to do all that. I told her I didn't want the purse in the first place. So I roll my eyes and I leave. Anywho, when I head out and I'm leaving out the same way I came in. I walk right back past the purses, and I'm walking towards the door. No, the shoes are no longer there. The stores that were in the front are no longer there. And it's kind of like the door was pushed back. And once I step outside, it is a huge garden, like a flower garden outside. And I'm like, this was not like this. Nope, it wasn't. And as I keep going, I see that the street has changed, and now there is a restaurant, there's a grocery store, and there's another little store sitting out there. So I start walking down the street, um and there are a lot of polite and kind people. This seems to be like a Spanish area, okay? Um I walk, I decide to go to the restaurant. So when I'm getting ready to go to the restaurant, I end up, it's a stand. Like, it was like a stand where somebody will be selling stuff, but nobody's standing there. It's like it was deserted. And but there's stuff on there, but nobody's there. I'm trying to climb it so I can just easily cross the street, because it's like the only way to cross the street will be to walk all the way around this stand. Whereas, in the past, and like now, currently, we can just walk straight across. And I realized that, like, I climb it, but I get to the top and realize that if I jump, I'm going to hurt myself. And it will be much smarter and easier to just go the long way around. So I decided to go the long way around. And I go to the restaurant, which at first I was thinking about going to the grocery store, but I go to the restaurant. I get to this restaurant, and when I go to the counter, I see that they are giving like t-shirts with each order. I also noticed that I don't want to eat there, because I look at, like, they have a display. I didn't even type this in, but I remember it from the dream. Baby, they had this cake on display, and it was like a cake that was, and there was like a piece of ham. Like, ham was like, what do you call it, with the skew? They will use the skew to position the ham to the cake, and then it's an apple position to the cake. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? I'm not gonna eat that. And then I kept going. So I end up I was about to walk out the door, but as I'm walking towards the door, I noticed the shirts that the lady is giving away. And I noticed that she is kind of arguing with a customer because they're trying to choose which shirt they get. And she is basically saying, you get what I give you. And I was directed to write down what the shirt said. One of the shirts said, say no to drugs. It was kind of like a dare t-shirt. The second one said, stop the violence, and it was a shirt about domestic violence. The third t-shirt was a picture of a little boy, and it said, gone too soon, shot by his stepfather. That's the dream. The dream ended there. And that was the dream. That was the dream. That was a lot. That was a long dream. It took me 12 minutes just to go over this dream. The scripture comes from Proverbs 29:4. By justice a king gives a country stability, but for those who are greedy for bribes tear it down. Those who flatter their neighbors are spreading nets for their feet. Evildoers are snared by their own sin, but the righteous shout for joy and are glad. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Okay, so here's the message. Okay, let's break it all the way down. Okay, I feel like the first part of the dream, for whoever this is for, God is saying that He wants you to, like, in general, pay attention to every single detail of your life. You need to be more aware. And I just feel like not only aware of your surroundings, but aware of what's going on, because this is something that I could have easily avoided when this lady came in there and she started pouring stuff on my food. Because I could have covered it, or I could have took it with me. I didn't have to leave it there. So I just feel like God is saying, don't leave nothing that, like that, especially unattended. You, like, I don't know. I'm just being reminded of a rule that I was taught: don't leave your personal wealth. Like, I didn't got to a point that I take it with me no matter what. I don't care who I'm around. And it's not that I think they're going to take something from me, but that's just my habit. And that's what I was taught since I was young. Because when I was young, I would leave my stuff places and I would come back and things would be missing. And because of that, now I don't do that no more. And I just feel like for whoever this is for, God is saying you need to pay attention a tad bit more. You need to pay attention a tad bit more to detail. First of all. Second of all, it's okay if it's not working out for you if you are not in a position to where you can cook every day, even if it is cheaper, like, idealistically, it should be cheaper to cook every day. But if you are in a position to where it's very difficult for you, like in this dream where it's a community kitchen and you never know who's gonna be there, and then when you get there, it's like you bumping into people and somebody's trying to mess with your food, and you got to worry about this, that, and the third. Baby, don't nobody got time. And ask somebody from Texas 2 weeks ago. Let me tell you about life and how somebody can put something on your food just by looking at it. They can put something on your food just by speaking over it. They can put something on your food so easily. They don't have to actually touch it. And I just feel like, with this being said, God is saying that He wants whoever this is for to be careful when it comes to that. Be careful and be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who you around. Be aware of what you got going on. Um, Moving forward, the nursing home, I just feel like it's nothing wrong with celebrating the past, but don't spend too much time there. So I just feel like this is for someone that this is a point in your life that is closed. Like, that's what it represents. It represents something that has ended. Okay, it could be a relationship that has ended, a friendship. It could be like a job. What I was at, it could be a job that has ended. You spent a lot of time there. Your heart was there. You put a lot of energy, a lot of love into whatever it is that you did. But God is saying that sometimes you got to just keep it pushing. And I feel like that was a big aspect of this dream. Time. Okay, for someone, you're spending too much time doing certain things, and God is saying it shouldn't take you this long. And it shouldn't. It usually it would not, but you get distracted by things. One, you get distracted by situations that happen like every day. These are everyday situations. You don't have to be messing with nobody for them to feel the need to mess with you. You don't have to be bothering with nobody for them to feel the need to bother with you. You don't have to do nothing for somebody to feel as though they need to do something nasty, mean, and evil to you. I'm a witness. Um, to, spending a lot of time reminiscing on your past, going to places you used to go in the past, thinking about people that you used to spend your past with, thinking about old relationships. God then drug you out the relationship by your hair, and you keep thinking about it. You trying to figure out a way to get back. You trying to question God and convince Him. Baby, what I say about that first message? You trying to argue and go back and forth with God and tell Him, well, maybe if we do this, and maybe if we do it that way, and maybe we could do this. God said, no, leave it there. You done. It's finished. Just like in that part where I was like, why am I here? Why do you keep reliving this over and over and over again? This is somebody, and you only think about the good times. You don't think about the bad times. You don't think about the heartache. You don't think about the tough times. You're just constantly thinking about the good times. And there's nothing wrong with that, because when you only think about bad things, that's when you get depressed. But when you're constantly thinking that everything is all good, especially when it was bad, you put yourself in danger. Okay? And God is saying, stop wasting your time doing this here. You are wasting a lot of time being stuck in old patterns, being stuck thinking about old relationships, being stuck thinking about old people. Let them people go. Moving on. Okay, so this is why once I left out of there, everything was different. It looked like everything changed. God is saying, somebody, you are wasting your time on nonsense. You are wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. And I had a knowing that while I didn't work there. I wasn't an employee. I wasn't clocking in or clocking out. I was just there, dry, no reason. God said, this is somebody you are, like, whatever it is you are wasting your time on, you daydreaming about it, you thinking about it, and you missing this and you miss that. There is no reason for you to be doing this. Whoever this person is probably laid up with somebody else. If they was a dog when they was with you, do you really think that they are sitting around thinking about you too? No. I'm sorry to be mean. I'm just being real. God said, let that person go and move on with your life. God has so much more for you. Just because you don't know what God has for you in your future does not mean that God doesn't have anything there. But you won't be able to reach it if you constantly thinking about this person back here. Whew. Moving on. Okay, so I'm looking at the scripture. Those who flatter their neighbors are spreading nets for their feet. This does not mean that God is saying that you got to be up and friendly with everybody. As far as that first part of the message, just because you stay somewhere and like it doesn't mean you have to get along with everybody. Everybody is not gonna like everybody. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Let's just be for real. I have known several people that did not get along with their neighbors at all, and they still stayed where they stayed, and they were not bothered. Okay, and I just feel like God is saying, don't allow how other people feel about you control where you live and how comfortable you are while you there. And understand that when you too friendly with people, because I done seen two different things. First of all, I done seen people be too friendly with people, and then behind closed doors, they talk about them. They don't really like them. I done also seen people be too friendly with people, and they inviting them over, and they go out of town or something happen, and they come back and all their stuff gone. And I'm just saying this to say, God said, be careful. Okay, don't go about your life being too friendly with people, and you don't even know if they really like you like that. You don't even know if they really rock with you like that. You don't even know how they really feel about you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. And especially like, if they talking about other people to you, what do you think they do when they leave? They talking about you to other people. That's why y'all already know. That's why your girl like to sit by herself. I don't like being around nobody. I don't like talking to people. I don't like being friendly and being all up in nobody's face like that, because it's too many fake people out here. It's too many fake people out here. And I spare my feelings. I spare my emotions. I truly do not care if somebody don't like me. I don't care how they feel. I don't care why they don't like me. I'm not finna stress myself out trying to figure it out. I have gotten to a place where I truly do not care. I don't care. I'm not gonna figure it out. You got all the jokes. That's fine. You can have all the jokes over there. I don't want to hear them. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. I know it's not true. I'm not finna take out the time, effort, or energy defending myself to you, because, baby, if you don't like me, you're not gonna like me regardless of what I got to say. So what I look like, okay? And I just feel like God is saying that it's no need for you to be too friendly. Because when you're being too friendly, then people are questioning why you're being too friendly. Okay, it, like, regardless if they mean you well or not, they gonna be wondering why you being so friendly. Some people don't like that. Some people really they don't like that. And then some people, they think, well, if I'm friendly, then I'll make friends. All these people don't really, everybody is not meaning these people good. So I just feel like God is saying it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to stay to yourself. You are safer that way, because 9 out of 10 people are just gonna see you as somebody that stay to yourself, and they gonna leave you be. Like, most people are not even gangsters, okay? Even people that are living that thug life, they are not finna come and just mess with you and you not doing nothing. And I'm just being real. And that's like, for the most part. For the most part, there are some people that will come and they'll try to take from you, and they'll do this and they'll do that, and you ain't got to do nothing to them. I said that at the beginning of the dream, at the beginning of the message. But for the most part, I just feel like when it comes to something like this, you being extra friendly and opening up your doors to people and letting everybody come into your house, I've saw it time and time again. That's how people take stuff. And it's happened to me, and it's happened to other people that I've known, that they just nice, being kind, being sweet, being generous, and people just taking. And it's, baby, it's a tough world out here. Anywho, and moving on. Okay, so at the mall, okay, the mall is representing someone that is spending too much time shopping, okay? And for somebody, you know that you have other things to spend your money on. For the most part, you may not even be really spending your money on this stuff. It may be a situation where you're just looking at it, you're admiring it. You may be someone that you enjoy fashion. I understand, you know what I'm saying? I understand, because I do too. But I just feel like God is saying that there are other things that you could spend your money on. There are other things that you could spend your time, because I didn't even intend to buy anything out of this mall. I just wanted to see. And it's nothing wrong with, getting out the house and wanting to do something. But I just feel like this for whoever this is for, there is some kind of objective that God has for you, and the objective that God has for you involves you not wasting your time at this moment. Okay, there it's a time for everything. We already know it's a time for everything. There will be a time when it's gonna be, you can go out, shop, and do whatever you want to do, but I just feel like right now God is saying he wants you to do certain things, and he wants you to focus. Okay, so the next part of the dream, I feel like the woman that comes and she takes both of the purses that are left and she buys them. This could represent, you never know when God is gonna bless, like put it up on somebody's heart to bless you. But you also have to understand that, like, do you really need it? You can't, don't, just like I didn't get mad because she didn't want to give me the purse and she like disappeared. I was like, it is what it is. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? It's always I just feel like it's always a good thing to have a humble heart towards whatever it is that God is doing for you at this moment in time. And keep it pushing to going outside of the mall. This, once again, wasted time. Go outside of the mall. The mall has changed. A bunch of the stores have closed down. This may very well actually come into fruition. A lot of stores may end up shutting down this year, next year, a year after that. You know what I'm saying? It may happen today. It may happen tomorrow. It may happen this week. It may happen next week. It may happen this month. It may happen next month. It may happen this year. It may happen next year. It may happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But the prophecy shall come to pass. It may come to a time where these stores gonna start shutting down. There may come a time where malls are not going to look the way they look today. There may come a time where everything is going to start being different. A heads up. But I just feel like this is also a sign to someone that the things that you are spending a lot of time and energy on are not important. The places that you are spending a lot of time going, they are not important. The things that you are spending a lot of time doing, they are not as important as what you should be paying attention to. Now, as I leave out of this mall and I'm walking, I noticed that the people look different. Okay, this is something that may very well happen. It may very well be a bunch of people that like move out and a bunch of people move in. And I noticed that there were no longer people selling things on the side of the road, even though they have built up like little stations to sell things on the side of the road. And this may be a forewarning of how it's like we're creeping into a recession. I think we are in like a silent depression. I've heard that said several times, and it's starting to look that way. And if we're moving into these times, it's going to be hard for people that are trying to sell things on the side of the road, just like it's going to be hard for stores to sell things because people are just simply not going to have money for it. Okay? When I get into this restaurant, I once again I noticed that the food looks weird. Okay? This is also a sign of the Depression era, because in the Depression, for those of you that paid attention in history class, okay, for those of you in the U.S. that paid attention in history class, they made some weird foods, and during the Depression, they had some strange foods going on, y'all. Oh man, they had some strange foods. Some of them we kept. You know what I'm saying? Some of them we kept to this day, and some of them we closed the door and we closed it hard. But anywho, I just felt like that's a nod to that. Also, the things that were on the t-shirts, I feel like this was a big part of this dream. For somebody, God wants you to pay attention to these things. God wants you to let go of any kind of addictions that you are suffering from. God wants you to let go of any toxic, abusive relationships, regardless if it is a man, a woman, a friend, a family member, whoever. God does not want you connected to abusive people. It is not okay for anybody to think that they have the right or the authority to put their hands on you. The third thing is pay attention to your children. Okay. And on this shirt, it said this little boy was hurt by his stepfather. So, especially in situations where you are with somebody that is not the parent to your child, understand that they can say that they care. They can say that they, oh yeah, they gonna do this, and oh yeah, they see them as they theirs, and they see this and that. Baby, I ain't hearing none of that. I ain't hearing none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit on here and just talk about my experience, but I ain't hearing none of that. And I'm just being real. And when it really come down to it, if that's not their child, they are not going to have the same love for that child as the mom or the parent, the mama and the daddy do, period. Ever. Because that's not their child. And they didn't come from them. They don't look like them. They don't act like them. And 9 out of 10, they remind them of the parent that is their parent. And I'm just being real. Some people, they have a scorning going on. They feel like, oh, they had my person or whatever. And like some people, when they have that jealous type spirit, they can't stand it. They can't stand up thinking of sharing their person with somebody else. And like it could be a stepfather that is jealous of the child, a stepmother that's jealous of the child, and they can't stand that the child get this, that, and the third. And be careful. Be careful and pay attention to who you leave your kids around. And pay attention to how they treat your kids, and understand that they are not going to treat your kids to the extent of meanness when you not around, that when they with you. Like, let's be real. Of course they going to be smiling and be nice when you there. But when you not there, ain't no guarantee that they going to be nice. Ain't no guarantee that they're going to be kind. And the child that was on this t-shirt was so young that they wouldn't even be able to comprehend if someone is being nice to them or not. Let's be real. Kids that are under the age of, I would say, like 15. Like there are times where I remember as a child, I thought somebody was playing with me, and as an adult, I think back on it and realize, nah, they wasn't playing. They didn't like me. There were times when me as a child had adults that were being mean to me on purpose, bullying me on purpose, talking noise to me on purpose, like picking at me on purpose. Why? I don't know. Did I do something to them? I don't know. Did I offend them? I don't know. But like, it's weird. It's strange. But stranger things have happened every day. Let's be real. Let's be real. We live in a world where there are people that are really sick in their head, where they really think that them as whatever age, that they are beefing with a child. And it's insanity. These people should be locked up somewhere. I don't understand. I don't understand. I understand that, when it come down to it, people are people. Everybody's not gonna get along, and everybody is not gonna be best friends. But I don't see why someone, especially with such a huge age gap, would even think of themselves as being friends with somebody at a younger age. Anyways, I don't I don't understand that. I don't understand a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see it. Somebody that is in their 20s cannot compare themselves to someone that is 10, because that doesn't even make sense. They shouldn't be on your level. It wouldn't make any sense because they're a child. And somebody that's in 20s, somebody that's 20 also should not be able to be compared to somebody that's 40. No, they're not on your level. It wouldn't make any sense. You're 20 years older than them. Not even somebody that's 30 and somebody you're 10 years older than them. Why would they be on your level? Where is the logic in that? Somebody that's 30 can't be compared to somebody that's 40. Where is the logic? You're older than them. You have had more time to get yourself together. You should be doing better. I'm just saying this to say, for whoever this is for, this part right here, watch your child. Pay attention. Do not leave your child alone with no step parent. Especially, like, I just feel like, and you can feel it, and and I understand that childcare is expensive, and I understand that it's hard to find a babysitter, but baby, let me tell you, better safe than sorry. I know I would prefer to miss work that day and still have my child than to get off work, still have my job, but not have a baby and not have my child. Baby, ain't nobody got time for that. God said, for whoever this message is for, He wants you to pay attention to what you are spending your time on. He wants you to pay attention to your children. He wants you to pay attention to what you are spending your money on. He wants you to pay attention to what it is that He has asked you to do. And even though He may have given you vague instructions, go ahead and carry out the plan. And understand He's not going to ask you to do something if He's not going to see it through. He's not going to give you directions to do something if it's not going to come to pass. And as somebody that has seen time and time again, where I will be like, I don't see how God is going to do this here, but let me go ahead and do my part. And I do my part, and He show up and show out and shock me. And I'm just saying this for whoever this is for. God said, go ahead and do as He asked you to, and stop playing. And stop allowing time to just fly by. Okay? That's the message. That's the message. That's the message. That's the message. By justice, a king gives a country stability, but those who are greedy for bribes tear it down. God said that He wants you to be stable. He wants you to be in a position to where you don't have to worry about certain things. He wants you to have that comfortability, but you cannot get to that place if you are wasting your time on things that don't matter. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.